Welcome into our first edition of Trojan Talk. I am Trey Schaap, voice of Little Rock Trojans women's basketball. We're here inside of the Jack Stevens Center right off of Joe Foley Court tonight, joined by Steve Wiedower first. Darrell Walker will be along in the second part of the show. But, Coach, good to have you with us, and good to be into the season. It's 2026, but we're into conference play now. We sit 3-1 in conference play, tied for first place in the league. Had that one loss at Southern Indiana. That was back in last year.
Before Christmas.
Yeah,
right.
Before Christmas, 2025, when we had that road swing with Morehead State and Southern Indiana. But Happy New Year, and you have to be pleased with the way your ladies are playing right now. 1-3 in a row with the win over Hendricks, and then the two this past weekend over Tennessee Tech and Tennessee State.
Yeah, Trey, Happy New Year. I mean, we're excited to be back and playing, and we let the girls go home for Christmas for a few days, and then we knew we had this home swing coming up this past weekend, and we were fortunate to get 2 wins and thought we played pretty well. Both the games, played a really good Tennessee Tech that has a lot of confidence, and then we played probably one of our best total games offensively against Tennessee State on Saturday.
Tennessee Tech came in, Coach. They had won 18 straight regular season Ohio Valley Conference games. And so they had a lot of momentum. They had a lot of confidence. They beat us here in the Jack Stevens Center last year on a last-second shot. And we'll get to some of the things that they did in that game, because I remember the play that they ran on an out-of-bounds play late in the game. It was the same play they had run last year that they beat us on. But your ladies, I don't know what you told them at halftime of that game, but they turned up the defensive intensity in the third period. You held them to just 5 points, 2 field goals and a free throw. You outscore them 14-5 in that third period. Your defense really stepped up, I thought.
Yeah, I agree, Trey. We picked it up that second half on the defensive end, and we've been playing pretty good on the defensive end for the most part, especially since our trip out to Arizona. I thought we had a good trip out there and got a little momentum going, and played really well on defense, and just got that mentality that, hey, we're going to outwork you. And we carried that over into, this weekend's games. And, I thought the girls did a great job. And, Coach Bobby had the scout for them. And we knew, we knew a lot of things that, they'd been using from previous years and things. And we felt real comfortable on how to defend them.
You talked about going out to Arizona over the Thanksgiving holiday in the non-conference portion of the schedule. It was a tough non-conference portion of the schedule with games at Arkansas, games at Oklahoma, the 9th-ranked team in the country at the time when we played Oklahoma and Norman. We went out to play Arizona State and San Diego. Arizona State still hadn't lost a basketball game, I don't think, under first-year coach Molly Miller. They beat us pretty good, but then we turned right back around and beat San Diego. But I want to go back to what Molly Miller told some of you all, the staff, that was the best defense that they had seen so far in the season when the Little Rock Trojans played the Sun Devils.
Yeah, right. We try to schedule really tough competition in the non-conference schedule to get us ready, for our conference schedule. And, that she's doing a great job there. And, I thought that was a big compliment that she gave us, that, that we defended them really well. I mean, we just had one quarter, in that game where they really, hurt us. And, the other 3 quarters, I think we may have, outscored them all 3 other quarters, in that basketball game. So, played pretty well. And like I said, it's all just a stepping stone to get to what we're at right now as far as the conference play.
And your ladies playing well, I think, coming off of their best game of the season. You said best defensive effort, best offensive effort that they showed in the game against Tennessee State. I think it was the most complete game that I have seen from your squad this year.
Yeah, we played well in transition. We took advantage of some fast break opportunities, and then, we scored a lot of points in the paint. That's something we try to do every game, and we were able to do that, and then we knocked down some shots. And so, when you're doing all three of those things, you're going to be pretty tough to guard.
42 points in the paint in the win over Tennessee State, and that comes right after 40 points in the paint in the win over Tennessee Tech. Let's go back to that Tennessee Tech game real quick. I know that they are one of those programs that, it just seems like for us it's always a tough game. It's always a close game. Even the first year in the Ohio Valley Conference, we beat them twice in the regular season. We only lost one game in the regular season that year, went 17-1, and then lost to them in the conference finals in that championship game. And, of course, Sally Korma didn't play the whole game, played 12 minutes, I believe, got into foul trouble. But what is it about Tennessee Tech that just makes them one of those teams that you're just like, can we just beat this squad?
Yeah, I mean, they're just, they're one of those teams that can do a lot of things to hurt you. I mean, one of the things that they do really well is shoot the three-pointer. I mean, you give them any space out there, they're going to knock them down. And so we really try to defend that. And then, when you take that away, they have some athletes that can, drive to the basket. I believe Reagan Grimes is one of the players that really hurt us in that finals games, a few years back, and she's still there. And, she can do a lot of things. And I thought Jordan Holman really, really played well against her this weekend, and that made a big difference in the game.
Yeah, her and Destiny Salgado finished with 4 fouls. Des got her fourth, I think, early in the fourth period, and you decided to bring her out for a little bit, but then you put her right back in the game, and she didn't foul again. I mean, she knew that, okay, I've got to be on the floor to help this team win.
Yeah, she did a good job. I mean, that's been one of the things she's been struggling with some is, getting into foul trouble because she plays so hard and physical, and, sometimes you're going to get a few calls like that. She's just got to take away some of those fouls that, the fouls of reach in and not staying vertical when she's challenging shots and things like that can, they're going to add up because she does play so physical inside.
When you look at the way that your team is playing right now, and you practiced today, first practice since the win over Tennessee State to get ready for SIUE and Lindenwood this week, what was practice like today, and how do you think your team responded to the success that they had this past weekend and now where they are in the OVC standings? Or do they even know where they are?
I don't know if they're really thinking about the standings. Now it's way early. I mean, it's way early. We're just taking them one at a time and going about it that way. But very proud of the team. We talk about ownership a lot. We talked before practice today about – the things that you got to do to be a championship team, and you go from one game to the next. You don't get complacent, and, after a big weekend of winning 2 ball games, you got to stay focused and ready to go on to the next challenge. And, I use the example, I know you talked to Jordan the other day about, celebrating New Year's and all that. That's things that a team's got to do. I mean, she just pretty much said, hey, we're going to watch film tonight. We're not going to, go out and celebrate after, that big win against Tennessee Tech. And they got ready for, another game on Saturday. And that's what you want your leaders doing, and that's what you want your team doing.
Yeah, I talked to Jordan after the win over Tennessee Tech, and I asked her, I said, Coach said that you guys didn't get to go celebrate Wednesday night to watch the New Year come in. You could do it tonight. She's like, no, I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to watch film and get ready for Tennessee State, and it showed in the performance against Tennessee State. And I asked Baby J, Jerry Lee Daniels, after the game against Tennessee State, the same question, and she said, no, we wanted to watch film. We wanted to work on our game and practice. So hold that thought. We're going to take a break. I'm going to ask you about this team that you've assembled. You played everybody on Saturday. Everybody scored. It was a heck of a basketball game. We're back with more after this. It's Trojan Talk right here on the Buzz 2 and the Buzz Radio Network. Stay with us.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
And may I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
At Stevens, our philosophy is to invest every dollar as if it were our own, to seize opportunity, to anticipate rather than react, to deliver constant focus in an ever-changing world, and to pursue the objectives of our clients in order to help them reach their financial goals. A proven history of helping companies and individuals. Stevens, member NYSE SIPC.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Need a power boost after a serious workout? Stick with the original recovery drink. Highland Dairy's chocolate milk contains 13 essential nutrients, including protein and electrolytes, helping you build muscle and hydrate better than water. Our Chocolicious milk is perfect for building healthy bones in little ones and maintaining bone health in adults. It's chocolate milk with no artificial growth hormones, and it's locally made, so you know you're getting the best for your body. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
Welcome back to Trojan Talk with yours truly, Trey Schaap, joined by Little Rock women's basketball head coach Steve Wiedower here inside of the Jack Stevens Center. Damon, you go ahead and pull the – there you go. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. A little loud in the ears. Coach, we were talking before the break, speaking of loud, there were some fireworks around on New Year's Eve. I heard them around in my neighborhood, and hopefully the ladies were able to get a nice rest and get prepared for the game on Thursday, and we think they did because they beat Tennessee Tech. But it was also you told them, hey, you know, we're going to celebrate that after the game, but they decided they didn't want to. They wanted to work on Tennessee State and watch some film on them and get ready. And that's what Jerry Lee Daniels told me after the game against Tennessee State that they had done. And I think as a head coach, you like to see that from your leaders on this team, or Brenna Burke or Jordan Hallman, saying, look, ladies, we don't need to go out and celebrate. We don't need to do this. We have a task at hand tomorrow, and that is Tennessee State, and that's what you guys did.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, it's different if I would have told them to do it, you know, and they're doing it on their own. Ownership means a lot, you know, just taking ownership in your team, and, you know, because it, you know, if I told them to do it, you know, what they would have got out of it wouldn't have been near as much as, you know, them doing it on their own. So, you know, very proud of them, and just hopefully they can keep it up. You know, that's what we're looking for.
And being around this squad, out to Arizona, some other travels that we have done, Norman, Oklahoma, it seems like this is a really tight-knit group of 12 ladies that you have, 14 ladies that you have on this squad.
Yeah, it's a good group of girls. I mean, they have been, you know, enjoyable to coach, and, you know, they come out every day and, you know, work hard, and, you know, there's ups and downs, but they, you know, they come out the same way every day, and that's all you can ask is for a team to work together, and, you know, and we just talk about, you know, different things, and they've responded really well, and, you know, I hope that as the season goes on, they'll continue to grow as a team and continue to get better. I mean, you know, the big test is when you start facing adversity and when things don't go your way, and, you know, there's going to be some of those moments for us, and, you know, how you handle those is going to be really big.
When you look at the makeup of your squad, and you've got some 4 returners, Jordan Hallman, Brenna Burke, Elena Payne, and Ashley Lester. Everybody else is new. They're still trying to learn this motion offense. I remember Coach Foley told me one time that it takes a long time to learn the motion offense. You might not get it until even your sophomore year, but you look back at what this squad is starting to do, and the fact that you had 4 players in double figures on Saturday against Tennessee State, 3 of them being newcomers, 2 of them being guards that have to help run that motion offense. It seems to me like Maya Cotto and even Jerry Lee Daniels, who had a career-high 13 points, they might be starting to pick it up a little bit now. Do you see the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, it takes a while, to figure this motion out, and definitely you can see it in practice. You can see it in what we're doing. That, it's starting to click a little bit. Now we still got a long ways to go to be where we want to be, but definitely, like the way that they're playing, and hopefully that'll continue on in, this weekend.
I want to ask you real quick about the non-conference schedule, because you decided to slip Hendricks in there after we opened 2 conference games on a Tuesday and Thursday at Moorhead and at Southern Indiana in Evansville. Split those 2, 1-1, and then you decided to slide Hendricks in there, a non-conference game. Was that because of the time that we would have been off before playing the next conference game with Tennessee Tech on January the 1st?
Yeah, we wanted to keep them here, a little bit longer than, I can't remember the exact date on the Southern Indiana game, but if we'd have let them go after that, and then brought them back, we'd have had to brought them back, maybe right after Christmas, and spent, several days getting ready for that New Year's Day game. So it worked out really well with the schedule to play that game with Hendricks and stay here and practice a couple more days and then let them go after that. And, the timing was pretty good for the days off.
I know that a lot of times that coaches worry about what happens when we break, when we let them go for that Christmas holiday. I spoke to Lydia Belmonte Hurtado, who went all the way back to Barcelona, Spain. She said, yeah, it was a quick trip, but I got back. Everybody got back in time and everything. And it appears by watching the ladies play that everybody was still in pretty good basketball shape too.
Yeah, I think you got to really watch that, making sure that, you're able to come back and get in shape for your next game. But Lydia, she, when she was home, she FaceTimed me with her parents there.
How was that?
Oh, it was good. It was good. And they don't speak English very well. But
she had to translate for you?
Yeah. Just wanted to wish them a, Merry Christmas and things. And just, making sure that she was good, when she got home.
Do you think that they might make it over to the States for a game this season at some
they're
point?
coming. I can't remember, Trey, exactly when they told me that they were coming, but they're going to come to a game.
Well, that'll be nice.
Yep.
That'll be nice. Get to see their daughter play basketball over here in person, and I know that's a long trip. I mean, I know your wife has been overseas with you having a daughter living overseas, and my wife and I have traveled to Europe, and it's you don't get there quick.
No, it was a tough trip on Lydia, to go over Christmas break, but we wanted her to do it because, I mean, she needs to get home and spend some time with her family and then, come back and be ready for the second semester. But I was glad she was able to do that.
What did you do over the Christmas break?
Oh, we did a little bit of, the family stuff, the Christmas stuff, and then we had a gender reveal at my house for my youngest daughter, Kenzie, and found out I was having a grandson coming up here in April.
Oh, boy. I'm sure that one's not going to be spoiled at all. Denise is not going to spoil him, huh?
We're looking forward to it.
I'm sure you are. He'll be hunting and fishing with you.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee that. We'll take a break, come back with more with Coach Wiedower. I'm Trey Schaap here on Trojan Talk from the Jack Stevens Center.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
The future is not about a bond reaching maturity. The future is what my grandfather worked for. It's what my father carried on. It's my responsibility today. The future is my son's tomorrow. At the Stevens Private Client Group, we believe that our strength builds success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC.
Game Time Wraps, a company whose roots are firmly planted in Arkansas but has worldwide vision, is your source for vehicle and architectural graphics and is a leader in sports flooring, serving customers across the country. Game Time Wraps does everything from their home base right here in Central Arkansas. Call them today at 501-771-9727 or visit their website at GameTimeWraps.com.
Arkansas Roundballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back inside of the Jack Stevens Center, just off of Joe Foley Court here on the campus of UA Little Rock. It's Trojan Talk with yours truly, Trey Schaap, joined by Steve Wiedower, head women's basketball coach for your Little Rock Trojans. On the road at SIUE up in Edwardsville, Illinois. The Cougars on Thursday night. That game will tip at 5 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 4:45 with it. And then Saturday from Lindenwood in St. Charles, Missouri. That game tips at 1 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 12:45. Coach, it seems to me like SIUE, and throw their record out, it's always a tough place to go in and play.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about it today. I know that, every time we go in there and play, they, whatever they've been doing in the past, it didn't matter. I mean, they usually shoot it really well, and I think last year they beat us there. The year before, maybe I think they beat us twice in a row. At their place.
Yeah, the year before, Coach Foley, we got down like 20-something. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who have never been to a Little Rock Trojan practice with Coach Foley, and you're not going to get a chance to because he doesn't coach anymore, but he would have his red team and his white team. And then the red team was the team that were not the starters. And he decided when he was down 20, the white team wasn't playing good. He just put the whole red team in there. And they actually got us back in the game in that third period, Coach. Yep. And then he decided, well, let's put the white team back in there. And if he would have stayed with the red team, he might have won the game. And he even told him when we went to Eastern, because the next game was at Eastern, he told him, he said, red team, that's my fault. I should have left y'all in the game.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. And, like you said, it's going to be a tough ball game. I mean, they played pretty well in their non-conference. I think they won 8. They were like 8-4, their record in non-conference. And, I think right now they're 1-2, in conference play. But
2-2.
2-2. 2-2 in conference play. And, they're going to be a big challenge. They've got some 2 freshman players that have really added to their team, and I think they're their leading scorers. And, we're going to have our hands full there. And in any game you play on the road, it's going to be a challenge. But I think our girls, especially the returners, they know it's going to be, they've been there, so they know it's going to be tough.
No, you are correct. They're 1-3, 8-6. I was looking at the men's standings. 8-6 overall, 1-3 in Ohio Valley Conference play. I remember the first year going in there, that's where we won the Ohio Valley Conference outright, and they handed the trophy to the team in the locker room. I didn't see you in the picture because I think you were out talking to me on the post game. Coach Foley and all the other coaches and the ladies are in the picture.
Yeah, I was out on the radio with you.
And then we go to Lindenwood, and this is an easier trip in the OVC, if you will, because the distance between the two schools is as close as you can get, I think, if my math is correct. Yes, it is. It's the closest road trip between 2 OVC schools that you can get in the season.
Yeah, that makes it nice where you don't have to travel that far, that Friday morning or, whenever we travel. We either travel Thursday night after the game or Friday morning. So it's definitely an advantage playing those 2 where you're that close and you don't have to travel as far.
They still have both of them have some players that concern me. You look at SIUE, Macy Sylvie. I mean, she seems like all the time that we play her, she likes to shoot it. She shoots it well against us. And then you look at Lindenwood, and they've got Ellie Brueggemann, who just can really shoot it from the outside as well. 2 bigger guards that we're going to have to play against this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be, we're looking at SIUE right now, and that's going to be a big part of it is keeping them from shooting those threes. That she does a really good job, and like I said, the two freshmen they got, coming in newcomers are their leading scorers. So, we got our hands full, and we'll get the girls ready, and hopefully we can go down there and play well.
It seems to me like, Coach, looking at your squad, that they're starting to really pick it up. And one player that I'd like to highlight is Brenna Burke. I mean, came in last year, a freshman, looked like at times she might have had the big eyes and was like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? It seems to me like now she knows what she's gotten herself into. She's a fighter. She wants to get out there. She's going to scrap. She hates it when you take her out of the game. I see it on her face. She'll look over sometimes when you're substituting her. She's like, why I got to go out now,
She's a competitor.
She wants to play.
Yeah, she's a competitor, and, Brenna continues to improve and get better. And, the thing that you look at, Brenna's a great shooter. I mean, she can really shoot the basketball, and she's developing other parts of her game that, that she needs to continue to develop and get better at. And, it's going to make her a total all-around player. Her defense has definitely improved this year, and, she's able to contribute in more ways than just shooting the basketball.
Yeah, I had 21 points a career high in the win at Morehead State in our first OVC game this year. What is it about her that you like, that you saw in her when you were recruiting her that made you want to have her on this Trojan squad?
Well, I just, I saw somebody that was like I said, a really good competitor out there on the floor. She may not be physically as, strong or as tall as some different players, but she's going to give you everything she's got. And, I really like that in her. And I think that, if she continues to improve, she's going to be a really good player for this program. And, and she brings more to the table than just, her basketball skills. She's a good leader, and I think, the girls on the team respect that, and they know that, Brenna's somebody that, when she walks out there on the floor, she's going to give it everything she's got every night.
Elena Payne has really come on. I know you were concerned in the offseason about who's going to be the point guard, and she seems to me like she's accepted that role and she knows what her role is, and she's playing some really good basketball for you too right now.
Yeah, you can see that Elena's getting more confidence. She's making plays, not only for herself but for other people. She's just, you can just see it in her eyes that she's feeling more confident. And, and I told the girls today, one of the things that Elena's done, I think she's our second leading rebounder on the team. So, we talk about it all the time. If you're a player that make your teammates better, then you're a good player. And that's exactly what I think she's doing a lot is she's helping her team, not only just, running the point guard spot, but when you're rebounding like that as a point guard, you're helping your team in a different way.
Destiny Salgado, a transfer, has come in and has really asserted herself as our go-to person in the post.
Yeah. I mean, she's coming around. I mean, Destiny's a physical player in there, but, she can do a lot more than just post up on the block. And that's the thing that I'm and Destiny's just a sophomore. I mean, she's going to continue to get better and better. And, she's got some skills out on the floor. She's got, the ability to drive the ball to the basket. She's got the ability to shoot the pull-up jumper, 15-footer, and then she's, able to score on the block. So, that as a post player, when you can do all three of those things, it makes it pretty difficult to guard.
And you have four post players that you're able to rotate in at any given time. Sometimes you'll start a game with two bigs in, and when we say bigs, that means post players, because you're trying to match up what the other team is doing. Sometimes you'll just go four guards and have one post player. What determines how you're going to go?
Well, I think it's a little bit about matchups and things like that, what we feel, is a good – and we play a lot of people anyway. So, it's not about who starts the game. It's about who finishes, and as you go through the game, you can see what's working and what's not working. And, and you mentioned, a couple of the other bigs. I know Pearson McVeigh the other day, I think she played 13 minutes, 14 minutes, and had 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, she's going to give you that ever. And, I mean, she's going to go to the boards and, and attack. And then Naomi and Taylor, they've all gave us good spots. Naomi against Tennessee Tech, came in and gave us some big minutes and, made some big buckets. And I definitely, are proud of all of them and the way they're coming. So, that's what we're continuing to do is try to work on.
And, Coach, I can really see it, too. I mean, it seems like it's starting to click in their minds, and hopefully it stays clicking, and hopefully we'll have a good road trip to Illinois and the state of Missouri this week as we take on SIUE and Lindenwood.
Looking forward to it.
We'll see you Thursday.
All right.
That's Steve Wiedower, head basketball coach of your Little Rock women. We're back with Coach Darrell Walker, head coach of the Little Rock Trojans men's basketball team after this. Stay with us.
Did you know you can experience unlimited access to ArkansasOnline.com and premium sports content? That's right. Get news anytime, anywhere, including daily and breaking email newsletters sent directly to your inbox. Get access to archives, photo galleries, event calendars, and much more. Take advantage of a digital subscription today at ArkansasOnline.com and stay connected to the most reliable, up-to-date news anytime, anywhere.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
May I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stevens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC.
Need a simple breakfast, lunch, or dinner for your family, team, or business? Proud sponsor and local owner-operator AJ Roller's Chick-fil-A restaurant at Markham University has you covered. From Chick-fil-A nuggets in mini trays, mac and cheese trays, to chocolate chunk cookie and chocolate fudge brownie trays. Order through the Chick-fil-A app or call the store. AJ's team will have breakfast, lunch, or dinner ready for you and your team in no time. And don't forget to pick up a gallon of their famous freshly made tea or freshly squeezed lemonade.
The Trojans have been dominating in the paint, but does it guarantee a win? We'll see, Peter.
Like how playing the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is a guaranteed win for students.
Huh?
Every ticket you buy in Arkansas funds scholarships. And since 2009, they've raised more than $1.5 billion for Arkansas students.
Wow. So no matter the score, that's a win for students. Back to the game.
That's right, folks. Playing the lottery is a big win for students and could be for you, too. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Welcome back inside of the Jack Stevens Center, just off of Joe Foley Court, joined by Darrell Walker. I am Trey Schaap. This is Trojan Talk. And, Coach, good to have you on. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
How is everything going? You need more players.
That's not going to happen.
No.
What we have is what we have. That's not getting ready to happen.
I tell you what, Coach, it just seems like, and I know I talked to you before the Morehead State game and Southern Indiana as well, but going into the season, picked to win the OVC, and that's before all of the injuries happened. But it just seems like we are snake bit.
So the last couple of years we've been snake bitten, and we really, without Coach Baker and our staff, we put together a really good basketball team that I thought by the time March you get to the Ford Center that we could win and get to the tournament and win a game in the tournament. That's how comfortable I felt with the talent that we had recruited. And when you take three really good guards and the OVC preseason player of the year off the team, and Terrion Burgess, who was starting some games and coming on, it's tough when you're basically playing 6 or 7 guys a night. It's tough.
How have you guys been able to overcome that and get to where you are right now in league play 2-2?
No, we're still in. I told my guys after that Tennessee State game that we still could win the league. I'm very careful in practice. I gave them Sunday off. I basically gave them the day off. We watched some film, got a lot of shots up, went over some other little stuff. But I told them tomorrow we're gonna go hard for an hour, maybe 45 minutes. All depends on how much contact it is, because I'm scared of contact right now. So all I can do is try to keep these guys fresh by not practicing them.
Yeah, and that's
all
one
I can
thing.
do.
Yeah, and I
that's
saw
all
it.
I can do.
Yeah, it's all you can do. You open the conference season at Morehead State. Tough,
Yeah.
hard-fought game, played well in the second half.
did play
Came
well
back
the
and
first
had a
half.
chance to
Right,
win.
right.
You gave them that Wednesday, just more of a mental prep
Right.
game, and you came back and played well against Southern Indiana and won.
No, we played good on the road against Southern Indiana, and then we came home, played Tennessee Tech, and I thought we played well. And let's just be honest, we played well against, I think, one of the most talented teams in the league in Tennessee State, and we were right there to win the basketball game. So I told those guys after the game that it's some things we got to clean up. But if we go game by game and we can stay healthy, knock on wood, with the rest of these guys, we'll have a chance. But it's hard. I'm worried about Jonathan and Braxton more than anybody else because that's a low on Braxton of handling that ball for basically 40 minutes a game.
I was going to say, Coach, when you have your vehicle, you have to rotate the tires and you have to get new tires because of wear and tear. Your players, like you said, Braxton Bayless and Jonathan Lawson are playing a lot of minutes.
A lot of minutes. Now between Toon, Cam, and Kachi, they can kind of get some – I can kind of sub and go small and take those guys out a little bit or put Caleb in the game. But at the end of the day, we're playing about 7 guys. And it's right now, I think we're okay, but I'm worried about we get deeper in the season. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, obviously, no doubt about that. And talking about deeper into the season, well, we're on the road Thursday and Saturday. Thursday at SIUE and a team that last year really had some success.
Yeah, they were a good team. Coach Baroni does a great job. I just got to watching some about 2 or 3 film of SIU Edwardsville today. I'll watch some more tomorrow. I like their team, and unfortunately for him, he has some injuries on his team. His leading scorer and another really starting guy is out. So I don't feel sorry because that's only 2 guys.
It's not 5.
No, it's not 5 or 6
like
guys.
what we have.
Right,
yeah, and,
exactly.
and you've had some guys go through injuries. Toon missed some games as well. Came back against Morehead with his eye injury. Are we going to be able to get anybody else back this year?
No, I was worried about Toon because we thought he had a detached retina, which meant he was done for the year. So that didn't happen. No, I don't think we're going to get anybody back for the year. If we do, it'd be a blessing, but it doesn't look good at all for us on that right now.
You have solidified yourself here. You're in your 8th season now, and your coaching staff pretty much stayed with you
pretty much,
the past several years. What is it that you like about the camaraderie between you guys?
No, Coach Baker, we've known each other before. I even got this job. Charles Thomas was my rookie in the NBA with the Detroit Pistons when he came in. I've always stayed in contact with Charles. He was at Duquesne, Akron, and then at St. Louis for a while. So with Travis Ford, so I've known him, and Tyler has been around me for 3 years, 2 or 3 years, I do believe. And of course, I know Lawrence Triplett and Double D because I coached those guys at Clark Atlanta University. So we have fun with each other. This is a fun staff.
Is this team?
It really is.
Yeah. Is this team getting closer with more of the adversity that they have been under this year?
They were close even before all that. We had some good chemistry on this basketball team. It's just when KK and Kellen, then Kaysen, then Terry, I went down. I mean, you're talking about some really good players that can move the ball, dribble the ball, that can really guard. When you talk about being good defensively, it starts in the backcourt. And Kellen and Kaysen was going to be really good defensively. And if KK would have got back healthy, you already know how good he is defensively. So it all starts on the perimeter. Now, Braxton and Jonathan, they're not as good as defensively as those guys are on the perimeter.
Right. When you, as a coach, have to go through this and change game plans, practice plans, how you're going to do everything, how much of a challenge is that for the staff?
Well, it's been fun to me. I'm a basketball vagabond. I like to say I've been a lot of places coaching. So this has been a challenge to me. I know every time we go into a game, we're at disadvantage because guys can play 5 or 6 guys off the bench, and we can't do that. I know that, but I like where this team is going. That Tennessee State game, and I think they understood how good Tennessee State was, and we basically gave the game back to them. And that's not. And I think Nolan Smith is going to be a good young coach in this league for a long time if he sticks around. And I came in the locker room and I told my guys, I said, "Hey man, I ain't gonna believe it. I said this 2 years ago to our team. We won 13 in a row. I said, you guys are good enough to win this league. I said, but it's going to be a lot harder because the bench is short, and it just is. And it was nothing against Joe Thomas or Christian Hughes or those other guys that's on the bench. Tracy Steele, they just not good as the other guys that's out right now. And it is what it is. So it's been a challenge for me, but I love every minute of it. I really love every minute.
Your substitution patterns, how do you manage those with the fact that your bench is so short?
If you were sitting close enough, you'd be saying, Braxton, you all right? How you feel, young fella? He'll go, not yet, Coach. I'm good. Tune, how you feel? I'm good, Coach. I'll let you know.
I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen that in some of the games.
That's how
you're doing it.
Then if I feel I can say I'm up 4 or 5, say I'm up 5.
And you're getting close to immediate timeout?
Okay, yeah. Or I may say, we up 5. Let me see if I can steal some time with somebody else in the basketball game and get somebody a rest.
Sure.
That's how I'm looking at stuff. And if we go up 10, maybe I'll say, let me see if I can steal some time. Or if it's a 2-point game and we're right there and I feel the game is just going back and forth, I'll try to get somebody in there for 2 or 3 minutes.
Coach, I want to take you back to Southern Indiana, December the 18th. The Tune commits an offensive turnover. But Southern Indiana takes the ball down the court. Tune goes up and blocks the shot with both hands up against the glass,
and
turns
takes it up and
throws it. Outlet pass. They hit Cameron Wallace. He goes down, dunks it, and gets fouled. So you take away a sure 2 by Southern Indiana, and you add 3 on the other end.
Right.
How big of a play was that?
Caleb Jones, my video guy, said, Coach, that was a turning point right there. He said, we were in the games, no doubt about that, but that block and to get that, for them to not get that layup and for us to get a 3-point play out of it, he said that was huge for us.
I was thinking the same thing as Caleb. I was like, that is almost one of those plays where if you're the other team, you're thinking, we cannot go in there and score against this guy.
Well, Tune is good defensively, but also, Trey, he's also – I've told him a bunch of times that he's also undisciplined at times defensively because he thinks he can be all over the court. I said, you're only one person. You can't be all over the court, Tune. So just stay within what we're doing in our defensive schemes. But he's a big part of our team.
Trying to get Jonathan Lawson to play within himself and not get, I don't want to say discouraged or upset during the game, but what are you saying to him, knowing him that he has to help lead this basketball team?
Take every shot that you got space.
Yeah.
1-on-3, 1-on-4, I don't care. Because teams are locking in the half court where they're making it very difficult for him to get shots, and I would do the same thing if I was coaching against Jonathan because we have nobody else to go to at this time right now. So I think Jonathan's been fine. I'm just worried about sometimes late in games he's a little tired.
Is he the guy that has the green light anytime he catches the ball on this team?
Especially when he has an open look.
Yeah.
Because he may not get that open look in half court because teams can lock in. But if it's 1-on-2 and 1-on-3 and he has an open look, I got to let him shoot the basketball. I just do.
We're gonna go through some of the players on your squad. I want you to tell me about them, how you were able to get them here, and your thoughts on them. But I want to start with a Parkview Patriot. That's where I went to school. Yeah. Cam Wallace. I mean, I've seen some bright spots from him this season so far, and hopefully we'll see a lot more.
Well, Cam is trying to figure out how to play basketball. A lot of junior college players, when they come in, they struggle with you're not the guy anymore. It's a whole bunch of other good basketball players on this team. The terminology, what we use offensively and defensively, he has struggled with that all year long, even though he's getting better. Bake had been recruiting for the last 2 years, and he happened to just go back to junior college. He wanted to come here and play in front of his family and friends, and that was great that you get a player that wants to come to Little Rock and play. We don't get that often, and that was great. That's how we got Cam.
How have you seen him progress since the first game of the season against Arkansas Baptist in here to this past Saturday against Tennessee State?
Well, he's getting better. Still struggling with some things, remembering some things offensively and defensively, what to do and where to be. But overall, he's toned his game down because at the beginning he was I wasn't going to play him. I told him I wasn't going to play him because he was too gung-ho and trying to shoot every ball that he touched. And I said, that's not going to work here. It's never going to work here. I said, because I got too many other good players offensively that can score the basketball. So, I had to sit him down some and get on him some until he figured out, hey, this is how I got to play if I want to play.
Kachi Nze, what a player.
Yeah.
Big, physical.
Yeah, Kachi's more of a pick and pop guy. We're working on him developing and trying to get some type of post game down there in the post. I don't know how we got Kachi. Coach Baker found him. And we found him in the portal. We looked him up and down, got in contact with the agent. We had a good relationship with the agent over 2 or 3 weeks of going back and forth and doing things. And this agent thought that this was a good spot because he didn't play at Xavier at all. He played about 7 minutes a game at Penn. It was at Penn State. So he didn't play. And we looked at this, Bacon and I, and said, okay, this guy can shoot it. He's big. If he comes to the OVC, what can he do in the OVC, not the Big Ten? Those are totally two different leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
no doubt.
And we said eventually by the time OVC play, he'll be a good player for us. And that's what you've seen so far.
Braxton Bayless, not a point guard, but has been thrust into that role because of the injuries.
Been thrust into that role, and I felt bad for Braxton. Evan knew Braxton Bayless, knew him very well. I think he knew his father, too, and brought him to the table. We looked at a lot of film of Niagara and Western Kentucky, and we thought he'd be a good fit for us. And he has been. He'd be a better fit if we had another guard to get him off the ball some.
And Jonathan Lawson, a senior on this squad, we saw what he did last year, and, boy, he just continues to improve, I think.
Jonathan Bake knew Jonathan's father over there in Memphis. Jonathan didn't play at Memphis, and he didn't play at all at Creighton, and he was looking where he could go somewhere and have a chance to play minutes. And we told him if he come here, he's going to start. He's going to play minutes, and he can play as many minutes as he wants. That's on him, not on me. So I can put you out there, but I can't play for you. And that's how that relationship grew between Baker and Jonathan's father. So that's how we got him. Everything in recruiting is based on relationships. It's not what you know; it's who you know a lot.
No doubt, and you know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Toon Gatkek,
and so does Coach Baker.
Yeah, Coach Baker does as well.
Yeah.
Toon Gatkek, a guy, Coach, that every time I see him, he's always got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he came late to us. That's somebody that Evan Fount had played at Tech, had been in Florida, then to a junior college, then at Texas State, left school. So we knew he had some eligibility left, and we got in contact with him and was able to get the deal done. I don't even think he came to campus.
What's your relationship like with him? Because I know he likes to joke with you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Toon and I got a really good relationship. Even though when he first got here, he was in misery because he couldn't figure out what we were doing offensively and defensively. He was limited offensively, and but he's gotten better and better over the years. As you can see, he's a solid basketball player now.
And he's the guy, when you go to that 1-3-1, you put at the top of it. I mean, he's so fast and so long.
Either the top or the back. We definitely do that. He's
How
long.
do you decide where to put?
All depends on who's in the game. Kachi can never play the top. Kachi has always played the middle. Toon can play the top and the back. Cam can only play the middle and the back. He can't play the top. And then Caleb can play the top.
Yeah. When do you decide to put that defense out there?
It just all depends
Instinct?
on what I'm feeling, how the game is going. Did they take the shooters out the game? Okay, take the shooters out the game. Let me put us in the 1-3-1. Like when Harper was in the game, I was kind of scared because he can shoot the basketball. But when he went out of the game, I was like, okay, let's go to the 1-3-1.
You talked earlier about the connections and relationships that you have to have in coaching, in recruiting, and you've got them. As many years as you had in the NBA, the WNBA, over at Clark Atlanta, and I mean even playing here in Arkansas, you've got a lot of connections. And what are those relationships like for you?
I get videos and emails and texts all the time about, I got a player for you, Coach. I got a player for you, and Coach Baker does too. And most of those guys do. And if you're going to be in this business, you're going to have to form a relationship with people because it's all relationship driven, all of it.
And it's recruiting, Coach, nowadays is so different with the transfer portal. And I know some say that it's going to be the detriment of college athletics. Some have embraced it. What is the stance of Little Rock?
You better embrace it. If you got any sense, you better embrace it because it is what it is. It's fine with me because it's an NBA format to me. So it's like me being an NBA general manager. So I have no issue with it. It is what it is. You're gonna have to deal with ages. You're gonna have to play players. And you ain't gonna pay any players. You ain't gonna get any good players. Not the ones you want.
No doubt about that. Hold that thought. I want to get back and ask you about the general manager aspect and being the coach, because in the NBA you're the coach. You have a GM, and so he'll go find the players for you. He's Darrell Walker. I'm Trey Schaap. It's Trojan Talk here from the Jack Stevens Center. Back with more after this. Stay with us.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
At Stevens, our philosophy is to invest every dollar as if it were our own, to seize opportunity, to anticipate rather than react, to deliver constant focus in an ever-changing world, and to pursue the objectives of our clients in order to help them reach their financial goals. A proven history of helping companies and individuals. Stevens, member NYSE SIPC.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back inside of the Jack Stevens Center, just off of Joe Foley Court here for Trojan Talk. With yours truly, Trey Schaap, joined by the head Trojan for the Little Rock men's basketball squad, Darrell Walker. Coach, before the break, we were talking about recruiting and relationships and how the transfer portal nowadays seems like back to your NBA days. When you were a coach in the NBA, you didn't really have a whole lot to say about who the players were that you had. You had a general manager to do all of that work for you. Now you kind of have to do it all.
I mean, you had a little bit of a say, but not a lot.
Right.
And most of the time the GM and the coach was probably on the same page when it comes to picking a guy in the NBA draft. But now, not only are you the coach, you're also the general manager now when you are in the business that we're in right now as far as paying players. This is professional sports now to me.
How big was it for Frank Cuervo in Little Rock last year to be the first one in the OVC to say we are opting in?
Yeah, well, it was big. We have a chance to get some money and raise some money to pay players. It's a business. I was able to go out and raise a good lick of money to help this program, to help secure some good basketball players to have a chance to win some games. Unfortunately, they all hurt.
I know. It's just it's tough. It's just one of the pills that we're going to have to swallow, though.
It is what it is. But I knew when all those guys went out, it was going to be a challenging year of coaching. But I tell you, this is it's been fun for me, even though I know I'm shorthanded, even though sometimes I stand up or I sit down and I can look at my team and I can tell those guys are tired and they're giving it all that they can give, and we're still able to win some games. We're 2-2 in conference. It's a long season.
Long season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're just 4 games
in.
We've got 16 more to go.
Exactly. And
it starts on Thursday at SIUE. What do we know about the Cougars?
Well, I know Malik and Thomas, two of their best players, are out. That's what I've been told. They're out. Baroni does a good job with his basketball team. I've watched them today and yesterday and Sunday. I watched them too. I came in and watched some with Caleb. Just a well coached team. Have lost 2 good basketball players, but that scares me because now some other guys get to play and want to show coach that, hey, you should have been playing me. So it's every game we play is a tough game for us. Whether they were healthy or not, it's going to be a tough game for us because we're short-handed.
No doubt about it. And this is a crucial stretch right here too, early in the conference season. SIUE's 2-2. We're 2-2 in league play, and then on Saturday it's Lindenwood. They're undefeated in league play, and they're really playing some good basketball.
I haven't watched them play at all this year. I never look ahead like that. I'm strictly locked in for this SIU game, which we have a chance to win, but we got to lock in.
You guys are going to practice tomorrow, hit the road on Wednesday to get to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you guys are going to huddle up and stay for the weekend. It's nice to have these two schools back-to-back and really, really close, isn't it?
Like 40 minutes away, less than 40 minutes away. So we stay at a nice little Marriott right there that's close to
your
Lindenwood,
favorite place, though,
and not far from SIU Evansville. Yeah, I'm going to my favorite place, Charlie Guido's.
That's what I was going to talk about. It's not far from the hill, and to go get you some good old Italian food.
I'm gonna be at the hill. Trust me, Charlie Guido's is a great spot. That lobster spaghetti is something special, man. I'm looking forward to getting some of that.
And I know Tuck has already been talking about it. Yeah. He wants to go. I might find a way to Uber over there because I've had it. It is great.
It's really good, and I won't go Thursday. And I probably won't go Friday because I'm gonna go out with a bunch of my family members in St. Louis. I probably have them come over to the hotel, so I'm looking forward to that too.
How important is it for you to be able to see them when you're on the road?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I got two aunties and two great aunties and a great uncle right there in St. Louis. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with them.
Were you a Cardinal fan at all?
I'm a Cub fan.
That's what I'm talking about.
Always been a Cub.
That's what I'm talking about.
I grew up in Chicago, Cubs, White Sox.
Well, I knew you grew up in Chicago.
Mostly Cubs.
Yeah, go Cubs, go. That's me, Wrigley Field. Love it. So lobster spaghetti at Charlie Guito's. What type of wine goes good with that?
Whatever's big and bold. What's ever big and bold. But I always try something different there when I'm there. I know the people that run the place, the people that own the place. I've been going there a lot.
Do they have your own spot reserved for you when you walked in? Is that one of those places?
I've sent all of them Trojan gear and everything. So
they know you're coming.
They know I'm coming.
You got your reservation made for Wednesday night.
Yeah, whether they think they're sold out or not, when I walk in the door, I got a table, so I'm gonna be fine.
That's kind of like here when you go up to Burgess or you go down to Faded Rose.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are my spots. Those are my spots right there.
Man, that just seems like, when you walk in a place and they know you by name, and it's a place that you've gone back, and the reason you keep going back is because it is so good.
It is so good, and it's been there 50, 60, 70 years maybe longer. Than It's been there a long. Over 50 years, 60 years, easy. So it's been around for a long time, and I haven't tried anything else. Maybe one time I tried the linguine with the clams, but
wasn't your.
No, it was good, but the spaghetti, lobster
spaghetti.
That's unbelievable.
So I heard about that, and you told me about it. And the closest one, this was probably 2 years ago. Joe Foley's last year. His wife Chris Foley was with us. My wife Amy was with us. We went to the one in the casino, in the Hard Rock Casino that's there, or the Harris Casino that's there in St. Louis.
Okay.
And I haven't been to the one on the hill.
Right.
So I think I'm going to make plans to go to the one on the hill.
One on the hill has been there
because that's the original.
That's the original one.
You have to go to the original.
You
can't go to a knockoff.
And I'm sure it's good.
It was good.
It's same people, but the atmosphere is almost like walking into a mafia movie with John Gotti sitting in the corner with a bunch of guys, and it's dark at the table.
Have you ever been to Campese's in Dallas?
No, haven't been there. That's Jerry Jones' spot, I heard.
Yeah. There's one off of Mockingbird. It's right off of SMU's campus, the Egyptian Lounge.
Yeah.
Apparently, the story coach is that's where Jack Ruby went to eat the night before.
It's been around a long time.
He shot Lee Harvey Oswald.
It's been around a long time.
It has been around, and it's dark in there, and so
but
it's good.
Charlie Guito's is dark too.
Yeah. I wonder if that's something that they do with the Italian around there. It's like, it's going to be dark in there.
I'm sure a few deals have been done in there.
I'm sure there have been some deals done in there, no doubt about it. Coach, going to be a tough road trip this week, but man, if you can go 1-1 or 2-0, it'd be great.
Anytime you can go on the road and win a game on the road on a 2-game trip, you've gained an advantage, and we need to win a game on this road because we just gave one away at home. So we need to go on the road and lock in and be ready to play. These 7 guys need to be ready.
And then you come back to the Jack Stevens Center for home games, and then we're back on the road for 2 weeks. But the end of the season, February, we're at home 3 times, only on the road once.
Yeah,
Do you like the way the schedule sets up this year?
The OVC schedule has always been different, and it is what it is. I tell people if you're going to win the league, you got to win some games on the road. When we won it 2 years ago, we won games on the road. So you got to win some games on the road, and I'm looking forward to. We've won one on the road, so let's see if we can go get another one.
What is your pregame message to your players? You go into the locker room on Thursday night in Edwardsville against SIUE. You might not have it in your mind yet, but what are some of the points that you want to make sure that they know before you leave that locker room?
Trey, I'm kind of simple with pregame stuff and all that stuff. I'm more detailed about going over it 2 or 3 days before the game start. Are you prepared? If you're prepared, I don't have to give you a speech. You know what's getting ready to happen offensively and defensively. So that's my thing, is about preparation. But always tell my guys, you want to win, you got to win on the road. When you're on the road, there's 2 things you got to do. You got to guard, take care of the ball, rebound, and the biggest thing is you got to play with poise.
Yeah.
You got to have some poise on the road.
And it could be a good thing, the fact that their students are not back in class yet, because it might not be as raucous of an atmosphere as we've seen before.
It's a great spot. I think that's one of the toughest spots to play at SIU Edwardsville. I think it's a great venue there. I think the students are really loud and boisterous, and hopefully they won't be at the game.
Yeah, I hope not, too. Coach, good to be with you. Good luck this week. That's Darrell Walker, head basketball coach of your Little Rock Trojans. Don't forget, next Monday, Trojan Talk with Trey Schaap. Right back, same time, same place. Thank you, Damon Poole, back in the studios. Don't forget, Trojans and SIUE on Thursday. The ladies at 5, the men follow right after. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.